everyone, Ivy Gaming here, and today we're playing Dragonheir, Silent Gods. For today's video, we're going to talk about the picking of your main character, your MC, the character creation screen. Let's get into it. So I wanted to do this with the guide that they gave in the official Discord. I think it's really cool that they gave so many great reference tools, but I know a lot of people don't pay attention to Discord, and sometimes it's easier just to hear someone talk about it, and a lot of people don't like to read walls of text. So here I am to talk about things podcast style, plus show some graphics, and we're just gonna kind of talk about choosing your initial character when you're setting up your account in the first place, and the decisions that go along with it. So I'm going to read their advice, their information, and also give my own input for what's the best options for everything overall. So, dear adventurers, before you enter the world of Dragonheir Silent Gods and embark on a journey to explore Adenthia, you must first select your race and identity. As one of the adventurers, your player character can join various battles alongside other heroes. Also, compared to regular heroes, your player character will also have diverse abilities and more flexible development route. So that's one thing I love. The main character is really good in this game. You can use them and change their elements and be able to help them to match up with any synergy that you need them to, and they all have different roles depending on which one you choose. But I think we'll get to that later. Let's see, does this graph talk about that? Yes, it does. Perfect. All right, so first let's start with the basics. So this article is going to guide you through your player character's basic information, relevant settings, and exclusive abilities. So character races. In Dragonheir Silent Gods, there's 4 races for you to choose from, including humans, dwarves, half-elves, and lizard folk. These races each have their characteristics and background stories, and the way you distribute your default attribute points may vary, but that is about all the differences. These races don't have an impact on your future adventure, as they primarily affect your gender and appearance. So note, the race you choose will not limit your player's character class selection or development of combat abilities and exploration. So here is the picture here as they show. There's human, who's female, half-elf is a male, dwarf is a male, and lizard folk is a female. I wish you could choose your characters based on male or female for all of them, but unfortunately that's not the case. But it's cute, they have these little descriptions. I love that they added the lizard folk. It looks so amazing. That's probably going to be the one that I pick. It's just a really cool vibe. As it says, lizard folk live in swamps and deserts with agile bodies covered in scales. They worship pure strength and have a mindset that starkly differs from other kinsfolk. So you can see by clicking on them that this one has a red number here on strength. I think that's the one that where you're gonna start out with an extra point into strength if you choose that character, but you get enough points to distribute. It's really not a big deal. And honestly, when it comes to selecting your actual race, just pick what you like best. Pick what makes you happy. There's a lot of customizations with like hair color or style, and like face markings and a couple outfits. And yeah, definitely choose what makes you happy. Don't pick what don't obsess about the bottom stats, because it's going to be easy to adjust that with the ability points they give you, which we're going to talk about next. So, character attributes. Your player character can develop 6 attributes, including strength, intelligence, dexterity, constitution, charisma, and sen? Oh, wisdom. That's a typo. Sen is a wisdom. Sensation, I don't know what that, but WIS is wisdom. That's what they mean. I don't know. Maybe that was just a translation thing. Although they do not directly affect the combat capabilities of your character, they do play a key role in cases along your journey. So, attribute breakdown. Strength helps you move heavy objects and lets you intimidate others using your fists when necessary. Intelligence helps you to quickly find the best solutions to face a challenge, and even see the truth where others cannot. Dexterity lets you masterfully harness stealing skills and help you escape from dangers. Constitution lets you win unexpected situations, such as a drinking contest. And charisma, this allows you to lie straight to others' faces and convince them. And then wisdom helps you detect dangers more easily and stay one step ahead of uncovering the truth. So strength, you're going to have these things to move from one platform to another. You'll get a roll of a die, and if you have high strength, you're just easier to successfully land it. But if you don't on the first try, you can just do it again, so it's really not that important. Intelligence also applies to cooking, and cooking is probably the most important thing in the game because those consumables that you can craft with cooking are huge boosts for your battles. It's just really good, and people probably underestimate them. I'm sure some people never used a single consumable the whole gameplay, but I'm definitely not suggesting that. It can really help you to push through or even farm. Like you can accept a consumable. It's active for what, 5 minutes or whatever it is? I don't even remember now. And then after that, you could just go farm with the consumable turned on. It'll make your farming faster and easier. So definitely something to consider, and it should be the focus of where you put your points. Dexterity is one that I focused a lot in personally as well, because being able to steal from treasure chests that you find in the environment without having to have a key just saves you a lot of time and effort, and that's my favorite part too. And also you're going to meet merchants where they have resources. Whenever you come up to an NPC, if there's an option to steal, always do that first. Always do that first before you talk to them, before you open up their shop. Steal from them first. Because then you might be able to buy the things or steal the things that you would have bought. But that's something, personally, intelligence and dexterity are the two things that I put all of my points focus into. I'll probably put intelligence a little bit more first, but I love the ability to steal, so I kind of will probably more evenly build both of those and then not focus on the rest. Constitution, the drinking contest thing sounded cool at first, and that was one thing we thought would be more important. But the gold that you actually get from winning the drinking contest is terrible. It's not really worth the effort, so don't worry about that. Charisma is just like, if you steal from someone, you have a chance to convince them that you didn't really steal from them. I don't know what you're talking about. You must have saw something. It's really funny. I love the way they do that. It's so clever. But that's really helpful to pair with the dexterity if you want to be a thief and then talk your way out of the situation if you get caught. But I would say it's like the third most important. And then wisdom, helping you detect dangers. You'll have things where you'll walk through and you might be able to, you'll be like, something special detected, and then you'll roll the die and then be like, nope, failed. You did not sense it. And then you can just walk out of the area, then walk back into the area and try again. So it's really not that important to have that as well. So keep that in mind when you first create your character. You're going to be able to put some points into those things. So this is stuff you need to know about. All right, attribute boosts. Your player character starts with 10 points for each attribute. Per your selected race, some attributes may be increased by a little. Later on, you'll have to continue exploring the in-game world to earn horizons, which can be used for further increasing those attributes. Yeah, you'll get them naturally just by playing. You'll get more points, so not too big of a deal if you pick the character you just like the looks of. Like, I like this lizard. I don't care about strength, but I'm going to pick the lizard anyway, gosh darn it. Even though the intelligence is 2 points lower, I'm still going to probably pick the lizard, I think, anyway. I can't decide. I might do a different one for my free-to-play versus my main account, so I'll decide that later, but I really wish we had more options with customization. I hope now that we have the 4 races that the next update, instead of adding another race of character, they add gender. I would love to be able to be a female half-elf, for example. You could even change their skin colors and stuff too. It's really cool. All right, character identities. After you have completed the first storyline chapter, as you prepare to visit the material plane, you'll unlock the identity system of your psychic core. Then you can select from 4 classes, including soldier, thief, archaeologist, and actor. So as you can see here, like when you're they're on thief right now. It says you are born with unique reactions unlike others. It makes you very good at stealing and lockpicking and other activities requiring dexterity. The advantage is dexterity. So pretty much, if you want to go intelligence, you pick the one that archaeologist that gives you intelligence. If you want to go dexterity first, pick thief because it gives you dexterity. That's kind of the way you choose, is whichever thing you think you want to focus on, which probably should be intelligence, I think. most people would agree that the intelligence for cooking, if you understand how important the consumables actually are, you want a chance to get double them. Like if you have high intelligence, you can get like extra when you do consumables, and they're so good. But yeah, that's kind of how that works. So let's talk about these classes really quick. So soldier, born to be a warrior. Soldiers has great strength and resilient body thanks to the training they've been taken over for years. Your strength and constitution are additionally increased. Thief, born with reflexes better than ordinary people. A thief is good at stealing, lockpicking, and other activities that require dexterity. Your dexterity is additionally increased. Archaeologist, investing a lot of effort in studying the knowledge of various fields. An archaeologist is better at solving problems and forming theories. Your wisdom and intelligence are additionally increased, which is great. That sounds perfect. A little extra points in wisdom sound good for sensing things in the environment, so I'll take that extra point there. And then actor, always drawing people's attention. An actor is good at entertaining others and noticing subtle changes in the surroundings. Your charisma is additionally increased. So that's the breakdown there, but I definitely think archaeologist and intelligence are the first things to focus, and then personally, I will focus dexterity for the sake of stealing second, but I also could see focusing on charisma instead, so that way you can convince people of things more often when you run into situations like that in battle, including if you steal and fail, you can convince people that you did not really steal. I love the game for all this cleverness, honestly. All right, and then last but not least, the topic of elemental switching. Unlike the regular heroes, your player character is not exclusively associated to an element type. Instead, your player character harnesses fire, ice, and lightning at the same time, but you may only have one of them active. Go to Psychic Core, Elemental Power, and choose the element type and set of skills for your player character at any time. So this is cool. What's the control skill? Okay, that's something else, so we'll take a look here. So fire is just a basic like AoE damage type ability. Ice is really good single target damage with the battle skill. It actually hits really hard. I always like to put the statue Enticore, or whatever the hell it's called, the epic artifact that increases your battle skill damage on the main character when I'm using them as ice, because it smacks. But more importantly, the ultimate puts a shield on everybody, and the shield is based on attack, so it makes it really nice because you can just straight build your main character with full attack percentage focus, and then everything else will be fine if you just switch out elements. You don't really have to stress about. You can probably just skip the crit rate and crit damage and put your best crit rate and crit damage gear on someone else that's your main DPS, and let your main character just stay in full attack, and you'll be just fine. Not have to stress about gear swaps. And then lightning is also a decent bit of damage, including some AoE, but not crazy. Fire definitely hits the hardest, but it doesn't bring much other utility besides just basic damage. And then the lightning also provides some crowd control, which can certainly be handy. Or if you go into arena and you want to use lightning, there. But more importantly than that, I would say just try to match up with what elemental affinity you're using. Like fire and poison, ice and necrotic, lightning and radiant are going to be the synergies. So you're going to want to pair that up logically to be able to get the most out of the bonuses. You want at least 3, but ideally 5. A whole team at least that has that sort of synergy of the 2 elements. Doesn't need to be all of 1, but at least all of 2. But there's definitely going to be some cases, which I made videos on last season. You can check my playlist for Dragonheir. If you click the playlist on this channel, you'll see that I have a ton of videos. And one of them is actually about, like, if you're stuck in something, if you get stuck, one of the best things to do for survivability's sake is, no matter what your elemental focus is, put your main character to ice and take advantage of their shield. And that shield adds so much survivability if you don't already have a character with a shield, that it might be what you need to push through some hard content. But yeah, this was fun kind of talking about it all. I feel like this information is really helpful and really needed to know for new players. So try to get this out right before they launch officially, or today while you guys are picking your main characters still. It's not too late to change them, because it's not like you can't switch emails or start a new one if you guys made different decisions. Well, hopefully I caught some of you guys sooner rather than later while you're choosing your main characters today. If you did decide to do that today, because today, the 18th, you can pre-register or pre-download the game and set up your main character. But I'm not going to do that. I don't want to be on the server with everyone that's itching to go the first second. That's just asking for Krakens and hard rankings. I'm going to wait until the 19th to even start my account and choose my server. So my main account, I'm going to be going on Fountain Interplanar 2 tomorrow, if I can. If there's space, I'm assuming there will be. I hope so. But keep in mind, if you're a new player that does not have a Season 0 account, you do not really want to go on that server because it's going to be full of Season 0 players with much more advanced accounts already. But if you don't care about the competition side, you just want to play with your friends so you can join alliances, that's what the option is there for. But just a reminder, do not join Fountain if you're not purposefully joining so you can be in an alliance with your friends that played in Season 0. And personally, I'm only going to be playing my Season 0 account temporarily. I'm going to be switching to a free-to-play account that I'll start on the 25th, but more info on that soon. But that's all for now. I'll see you in the next video.